What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Yarn Craig, where I cover everything from NBA, WNBA basketball, and all basketball in between, guys. So, sounds like content you're interested in. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And I'm going to go ahead and get right to it. For the WNBA, we have our players of the week for week 3, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Let's go ahead and get right to it. So for our Eastern Conference Player of the Week, we have our guard from the Indiana Fever, Kelsey Mitchell. She's been averaging 23.5 points per game and 2 steals per game during week 3. So if you guys haven't watched Kelsey Mitchell play, her team right now is not particularly that great. They're 3-9. They got a few issues they need to handle, but their team, they're young and they got a lot of promise, but they're just not there yet. Kelsey Mitchell has been holding up her end as far as production goes. On the season, she's really averaging some of her best numbers for her career. She's putting up 19 points per game, which is good for second in the WNBA. She's at this point she scored the most points that she ever has in a season. She's on pace to do so at least. Her 3-point percentage is the highest it's ever been in her career. She's averaging the most assists that she ever has in her career. She's second in total field goals made, and she's tied for third in 3-pointers made in the WNBA right now. So she's really putting up some monster numbers right now. Again, her team, she's just not quite getting the notoriety that she probably should. Fever sit 3-9 again, so it's unfortunate, but hey, she's doing her thing. Kelsey Mitchell, we'll see you at the All Star game, if nothing else. But anyway, fast forward and we're gonna get to our Western Conference Player of the Week for Week 3, and it's a familiar face. She took home the first Western Conference Player of the Week award this season. A'ja Wilson, she put up some monster numbers, guys. She put up, let me see, she put up 23 points per game and 11 rebounds per game. And she was very she was dominant. The Las Vegas Aces in general are dominant. And I think that the 2 wins that they picked up this past week 3, and A'ja Wilson putting up the numbers she put up, they were very significant. The first game was against the Los Angeles Sparks, where they have the Aces old starting center, Liz Cambage. So we kind of got to see a head-up matchup between A'ja Wilson and Cambage, and you know the Aces and A'ja Wilson and the Aces just look so much better. Again, I did a whole video on how they just operate so much better in open spaces, and they don't have Cambage there clogging up the floor. But they pretty much destroyed them in that game. A'ja Wilson, she ended up dropping 24 points in 19 minutes on the Sparks head. So that in itself tells you, it, it was kind of light work for her. But again, the floor is so open up for this team that everybody can just operate. I feel like in their roles properly. A'ja Wilson's pretty much everything you want in a starting center in the WNBA. In her second game against the Chicago Sky, another significant win and significant numbers. The Chicago Sky are the reigning WNBA champions. A'ja Wilson put up 22 points and a career high 16 rebounds against them. And what was a somewhat competitive game. I also did a game recap or a game reaction to that game. So go ahead and check that video out too, guys, when you get a chance. But the Chicago Sky really had no answer. Candace Parker really didn't she didn't outplay A'ja Wilson in that game. And I think that the Chicago Sky, even though they're not where they need to be, the Las Vegas Aces, particularly A'ja Wilson, looked very, very, very good and dominant against, one of the bigger teams in the WNBA. So even though they're missing some of their size with Liz Cambage, A'ja Wilson is still, like I said before, probably everything that you want in a modern WNBA big. So that kind of sums up the Player of the Week awards. It's pretty amazing to me that you know the Las Vegas Aces probably have 2 or 3 players that could win this award every other week. outside of Asia Wilson. Even though I will give Asia Wilson this, I do think, especially winning this award twice, at this point, she's probably the leading MVP candidate. She's not averaging the most points per game on her team, but she's averaging a significant amount of points per game, as well as she's one of the top rebounders in the WNBA, and she also blocks a lot of shots too. So right now, she's my leading candidate for MVP. So that's my video, guys. I think we'll be seeing Asia Wilson here again. Kelsey Mitchell, I think we'll be seeing her in the All-Star game. Hopefully, the Fever can kind of get together. They're a younger team. They'll be okay. But that's my video, guys. Those are your WNBA Players of the Week for Week 3. Peace.